90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. Season 6, Episode 10. It's a dogfight all the way home recap. Let's get into it, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, and my listening reviews, and all of y'all who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for auntie advice. Sweet old. It's time for auntie advice.
Hello, everybody, and this is Auntie. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for hitting that subscribe button and joining this family. To all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. So let's get into this, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall. And I am trying to think of what couple I want to start with first. Let me give you all a member's choice. Barbara Markham is here. Hello there, boo-boo. Tell me which one you would like me to start with first, Barbara. I'm going to give you first dibs to let me know who you want to talk about. Fran, I did. I've already mentioned that on several videos. Yes, I did. Cara and Guillermo. Okay, so let's talk about them first. So, this was one of those things where um I was a little troubled by it because I thought that in the beginning she was really trying to gaslight Guillermo. So Guillermo has decided that they're going to go out on, this little let's try to rekindle things trip based on his mother's suggestion. And so we are at the point where Guillermo and Kara are having a conversation in the bedroom, and they have been flirty and everything with each other up until now. And now this is when the real conversation is happening between the two of them. And so Guillermo is asking her basically about, whether or not she's been with somebody else. He has a issue with, her a telephone conversation that he walked up on. In my opinion, she handled incorrectly. She told Guillermo it was none of her business who she was talking to. She snatched the phone back and all of that, right? We have since learned during this conversation that Kara has been outside, hanging outside of the house. He said that, when he comes home from work, okay. So she was trying to make it appear that she is so inundated with taking care of this little boy, of their son, and that she is not getting any assistance. He says he has to get up every day and go to work while she salsas and dances all night. Anyway, calm down, Auntie. So she tried to allude to the fact, like I said, that he was not supporting her. And he was like, I get home from work, I'm tired and all of that kind of stuff. I try to do, I guess the best he can as a husband. She at the same time is being resentful because he's at least able to get out the house. She is staying home with the baby. She's feeling bored and she's feeling as if she's not getting help. He quickly corrected that to let us know that he has been indeed helping his wife as best as he knows how to. It appears also that the mother has been helping as well. with taking care of the child. He goes on to tell us that she has been hanging out in what she calls a girls' night once a week. He says she is not only hanging out, but she's hanging out with a gentleman that she had a relationship with before. And she's coming home at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now I'm a grown woman. Don't nothing come in the house at 3 o'clock in the morning but booty calls. Every now and then I may be hanging out with friends and we may go to insomnia. But we still getting home round one. When you are a mom with a child, there's no need for you to be hanging out every once a week. Now she indicated that she's doing it once a month. He indicates that she's doing it once a week. That is a big gap of time. So somebody's lying. Y'all let me know downtown in the comment section who you all believe is lying, because like those numbers are nowhere together, right? So anyway, she is basically mad, and she says that the guy that she's been hanging out with, so Guillermo started saying that the guy that she was hanging out with, like I said, she's had a relationship with this guy. He said that this is a guy who reached out to her, trying to pursue her while they were in a relationship. She says that this guy is somebody she slept with, what did she say, 10, 11 years ago, and that he is now, a hot commodity in that little society that she's in with that music. And so she said, of course, she has been tapping into his influence, tapping into his connects, and trying to get him to, bring more attention to her music. But she should be partnering with her husband with that, and not partnering with her girlfriends. At the end of the day, she wants his support, right? And not her girlfriends. But yet and still, when she's going out into these places, she is take going with her friends. Do I believe that she is going once a month when Guillermo is saying that she's going once a week? I believe she's going once a week with her girlfriends. I think that, she's embarrassed and trying to downplay it and act as if, oh my God, like that's not going on. I mean, you're exaggerating. She went on to say, which really put the nail in the coffin for me, that there is no documented proof, that he doesn't have any proof of this. Now, anytime you got to go to the documentation, honey, you know that you did wrong. Okay, there's no need for you to even. You don't even have to say he didn't have any documented proof. He didn't have any receipts on it. He doesn't have anything. So I'm just thinking to myself, then girl, you lying, because is that what it's going to take for you to admit to something? Documentation, videotapes, snaps on somebody's phone. Like eventually that information is going to come out, but right now it's not. And that should not be your defense, right, from such an accusation. Okay, because the husband, she was trying to go with this was just a little fling from years. It seemed like she has a whole bunch of flings. If you all remember, we had talked about it before, when she was dating Guillermo, right? And they were trying to make the decision on whether or not they were going to get married. He met her ex-boyfriend, who absolutely said that she was a cheater. She's trying to act very offended at the fact that he thinks that she is a cheater or is calling her a cheater. And so basically she sits on there and her tears are going on and off. She's angry at one point, and the next point she's crying and all that kind of stuff. Just her emotions are just so up and down. And I just like, girl, bye. So anyway, she basically tells him that, I couldn't understand, and I'm gonna need y'all to help me. I rewinded it probably, I want to say about 4 times, and I could not, y'all, when I tell you I could not figure out if she said that she thought about it and he's not right for her, or if she says she thought about it and he is right for her. Y'all let me know down in the comment section because I couldn't figure out what she said. She said, it's not that I don't love you, but this isn't working out. She did try to turn the tables and ask Guillermo whether or not he was cheating. And she made this crazy accusation that the mom had told her that Guillermo, they was watching the baby for them. He came into the home and he immediately took a shower. And when the mom and I guess her husband or whoever the person is walked out, they said, wonder what he was doing. And I just remember, that Guillermo did not have. Okay, Dominique, thank you. Kara said that he was not her person. That's what I thought she said. Thank you, boo. Some people who work hard jobs or who work in the kitchen, because we know that, he was working at a restaurant. Some people want to come home and get that grease off of them. They want to get the flour, the grease, the smell of the restaurant, all that. I remember years and years ago as a child, how my mom would smell when she would come home. She was working like a little part-time job or something like that at a bakery. And I remember how she used to smell. And I mean, and that when I say that like that was okay, so I'm 60. I'm 60. That was mm, golly. Let's say 50, let's just say 50 years ago. I know it was longer than that. I still can remember that smell. I still remember how it smells. So why his mother, and again, I had mentioned in another video how his mother is an instigator. She's a backstabber. She says whatever Guillermo wants to hear. And then when she's with Kara, she says whatever Kara wants to hear. She is the one that put the thought in his mind to enlist in the armed services. So, I mean, the mother's full of crap. Her mother has no credentials. I mean, has no credibility with me whatsoever, right? That's just my opinion about it. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it downtown to the chat because I'm just like, she's backstabbing. She's two-faced it in my humble opinion. And guess what? At the end of the day, she told Guillermo this isn't working, and he absolutely agreed. He agreed that he does not trust her, and I don't blame him. I appreciate the fact that he is straight up with what's going on. This little mess that's going on with Gino, with Jasmine and Matt is so phony and so made up. And it's almost, an insult. And I had talked to the members about it yesterday. It's almost an insult that we know that Jasmine is living with Matt, saying that she's African and has a whole baby. And this girl is sitting up there playing as if she has options to go back to Gino. And Gino is playing as if he's got options to go back to Jasmine. And they wonder why. Like I have noticed even with Jasmine, she posts a video every day. Every day is some new bullshit going on with Jasmine. Her and Matt are out on the town. Matt takes her on a little horse ride, whatever. And then they sit down and they have dinner. Because all the rest of the stuff I ain't getting into. She sits at the table and she tells Matt that he's the best she's ever had. And he's flattered. And she said, I ain't trying to boost your ego up. That's exactly what you're trying to do because Gino put you out. So you've got to do whatever you have to do now. You've got to turn up the heat. But Matt is so enamored with her. And I really don't think that Matt is really enamored with her. I think that he's in competition with Gino. And I know some people find that hard to believe that a person can be with you and not really be with you. Excuse me, and be with you because they are trying to get at someone else. But I truly believe that this is what this guy's doing. I don't think that he has any feelings for Jasmine really. And I think that he ended up getting caught up. He made Jasmine take off the ring or suggested that she took off the ring. Tell she had that ring also got daggone fast. So she took the ring off and everything. And, he's getting to the point where he wants to propose to her. But instead, they go to a restaurant called Prost. And I said I wanted to look that up because Jasmine said in Spanish, let me ask ChatGPT. Jasmine said Prost in Spanish means what? I ain't even gonna say what she said it means. So Jasmine is a liar as I thought that she was. She's a liar I thought that she was. So Matt had mentioned that the word Prost, which was the name of the restaurant that they were in or going to, my bestie said the word Prost is not Spanish. It's actually German and it means cheers, a toast when drinking. So then it said there's no equivalent word, right? The equivalent word is salud, which means cheers literally in health. And that's SALUD. So the neighbor was like, okay, so then what do you want me to do with this word? You want me to look in a Spanish dictionary and see whether or not there's a borrowed word or a slang? And I said, yes. They said, so here we go. Basti. In Spanish dictionaries, the word Prost is not a standard Spanish word. It doesn't appear in the Real Academia Española dictionary. As a borrowed expression in some Spanish speaking places, especially tourist areas with lots of German visitors, you might hear people say it at a toast, which is understood as a German word not native to Spanish. It carries the same meaning, which is cheers. So Bessie says, so Bestie in Spanish, it doesn't Prost doesn't officially mean anything. It's only recognized if people know German drinking cultures. She sat out there and said that in Spanish it means prostitute. How ignorant to take a German word and try to flip it to some made up terminology when it appears that when people are in Spanish speaking countries that they understand that that is German. And I have to agree with you, Wendy. She will try to appropriate everything, everything. Because when she came out last week and said that she had African descent and Jamaican, and I just was like, I can't do it with this girl. I can't do it with her. I also put in, does PROST means prostitution? Does it mean ladies of the night? No, it doesn't. Anywhere. Anywhere. Matt says that he's moving to Florida, y'all. And of course, we know that Jasmine moved to Florida with him, but she's trying to make it appear that she has this option to go back to Gino. Gino, ruined his relationship with Natalie, but Gino is blaming that on Jasmine. And that is actually Gino's fault because he did not protect Natalie. Neither did he fight for her or fight with her downtown in the bar. He did not check his cousins. He did not check Jasmine. He did not protect Natalie. He brought Natalie into a situation that was unfinished. He wasn't clear with what was going on with her, right? I feel so funny not having their pictures up there. But Gino did this all on his own. Jasmine came in and put the icing on the cake, but she didn't bake it. She didn't put the ingredients in it. She didn't do any of that. Gino did this. It was Gino's responsibility to act like a grown man in a relationship, knowing that he has two women, right? And he has one woman with some unresolved issue, and I think a little batch crazy. And he did nothing to stop this. So what we not going to do, as much as I cannot stand Jasmine, is blame Jasmine for what happened in Gino's relationship. He was not upfront with Natalie from the giddy up. And just is what it is. And you can make any excuse you want to for his bald head. But let me tell you something. This was not Jasmine. This was not Jasmine's issue. This was Gino's. So now he's having a conversation with his nephew, I believe it is, or cousin, somebody, and they're playing golf. They're at a golf range where it looks like they just hitting the balls, and Gino begins to talk about his cousin Dana, who he said they've been by each other's side for the last 55 years. But as we know, he came in there with his wife and they have taken Jasmine's side. They were one of the ones who instigated the incident. They did not back Gino at that pool hall. And neither did they have any intentions. They have been totally up Jasmine's butt. And why I don't know understand why Jasmine did not move in with them since they love her so much and Gino put her out the house. Why she can't live with them? So Gino starts talking about a text message that he received from his cousin. And his cousin had basically told Gino off. He starts it off with, I'm going to go on the record, Gino, and say that you are such a victim of your own demise. Now, I agree that Gino sets himself up for failure. I absolutely believe that he does. Gino sends him back. Jasmine is not family. She totally used me for a green card and the marriage was a scam. Stop believing everything Jasmine tells you. She is a chronic liar. Have a great life and bye. The cousin then comes back and said, you abandoned her, threw her out of your house, and y'all say, oh yeah, but she cheated on me. No, she didn't, Gino. She was done. She couldn't do you no more, buddy. That's the is what the is wrong with you. First of all, you can't talk for for Jasmine for JJ. You can't talk for Jasmine for JJ. You don't know where it been. You don't know where it been, who it been with. Like you out of line. Unless you are living with her and she's living with you and you're doing her and she's doing you, you can't speak for what that woman is doing. And it's disgusting that a man would even get in that involved. Now I can see his wife, but for him to send that to him, why is he so involved? And the thing about it is, Gino brought all of them on. And he said, he's not going to talk to him anymore. And he's really hurt by it. And now he's feeling lonely. So the next conversation that we have, here's what I think we're going to see next week. And I haven't seen any previews or anything like that. I've just been around here so long that I kind of can write these scripts myself. Gino has mentioned multiple times in this episode that he is lonely. Jasmine is debating on whether or not she's going to be moving with Matt to Florida. Now the two of them going to get together and Gino's going to act like he wants Jasmine back only to get crushed by Jasmine. As soon as Jasmine is... Okay, here's the script. The way I see it being written. And we'll come back next week and we'll see if I'm right because I've been right about a lot. Gino is feeling lonely. Stuff messed up with Natalie. Gino and Jasmine are going to meet. And when the two of them meet, although Jasmine has not talked to him in a while, and she is to now make a decision on whether or not she's going to move forward with Matt, Gino was going to say that he wants to rekindle the relationship. And Jasmine's going to reject Gino. Coming out as the complete victim of Gino's bullshit. Then Gino's going to pull the immigration card on her because Matt's the best she's ever had. Gino kept talking about how sure he is. Gino, it don't make a difference. Take your hat off. Until you can walk away with the sun and get a suntan on your head, don't talk about no other man. You've already said that Matt is short. Okay. But Matt and Gino are too worried about one another. They're too worried about one another. But I don't know why a grown man, somebody else's husband, is speaking on another woman's for JJ. Now, I got an issue with that. Sure do. Sure do. Darcey and her man. This is so boring. It's so boring, y'all. They're still with his parents. It's the last night they're going to be staying with the parents. They're going back to the hotel room. It's the anniversary. The mom and dad get up and they want to have a conversation and they want to have wine to celebrate the anniversary and everything is kumbaya. They're going to be throwing her a party that Darcey didn't know about. and celebration of their 1 year anniversary. She calls her sister Stacy, and Stacy is coming. And so it's going to be the Silver twins. Okay, next. The next couple that I want to talk about, y'all, who's the next couple that I want to talk about? So I talked about Kara, Guillermo, Gino and Jasmine, Julia and Brandon. I don't know if they're paying Brandon's mother extra to be an ass, but I would suppose somewhere along the line she getting a bonus. Because there's no way in the world that Brandon's mother is this woman we seeing on the television. Y'all, there's no way that Brandon's this weak. I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying that there's all this war. I'm not buying that Julia didn't want a baby. I'm not buying this storyline anymore because they want me to believe it. If we all sat back and we thought about it, and I mean really thought about it, we could poke all the holes through this story. Now, they have all decided that they're going to fly to Florida to have a wedding. Arrangements have already been made for her parents to come and stay. Now, the parents had a problem at the hotel in DC because they didn't want to sleep together. But where was they sleeping at when they was at Brandon's house? I'll wait. The parents are getting along. They're doing what they do with the whoop whoop whoop. They flew over there together. They may be divorced, but it ain't no animosity between them. They're still friends and very much combining their lives with each other. Now, at the last resort, Julia and Brandon made an agreement that if she considered having a second opinion, that he would consider bringing her parents there. They all fly down to Florida. They meet in Florida. The mom and dad have a home. They give them they get there first. They give them their keys and everything. And now they're arguing, y'all, about rain. So Julia has planned to have this outdoor wedding, right? Which I believe she's going to have it outdoors because anybody who's been to Florida knows that it will rain for 30 minutes. And I mean, when I'm talking about raining, it just be almost like hurricane rain. And honey, the next thing you know, in 30 minutes later, it's hot as the dickens out there. It's hot and steam is coming up from the ground. And then you burn and you get a tan the rest of the day. Like anybody that's been to Florida for any amount of time know that it's going to rain in Florida. Like this isn't, and it never rains. It's sunny California. This ain't that. This is Florida. It is constantly raining down there. They shut the little rides down for a little while, shut Sea World down. You can't go and see the dolphins and stuff. And to 20 minutes, 35 minutes after you got your snow cone and then spend $35 on a hot dog and a drink, the sun come right back out. It's like Annie. The sun will come out tomorrow. So Brandon's mother is allegedly harassing her about, whether or not she had a backup plan. So Brandon makes she's like, no, I'm thinking it's going to rain. We're going to have to have the rain. We're going to have to have faith that it's going to be sunny out here. And so Brandon makes a smart comment and says our backup plan is, whatever. And she was like, Brandon, if you could do better, do better. If you're going to stand over there and complain, then you make all the arrangements. Shut him right down. Shut him right down. He ain't really got nothing to contribute to this conversation because he's not doing anything. And I have gotten to the point where I'm just like, Miss Betty is not this person. This is an act. Julia's mother is trying to talk and trying to say, you need to kind of like stand down and back up. Julia, this your plan. Don't let, you know what I'm saying, this heifer cause all this chaos and confusion. And the mother's still steady over there talking. What's the backup plan? You should have gotten a pavilion. No, she did exactly what she needed to do because the storm will come in, but the storm will roll out. I'm trying to tell you, if you ever been to Florida, y'all, the storm will come in and that storm will roll right out. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. So anyway, they're arguing about that. Julia, has a conversation with her parents, because she just doesn't have the support from Brandon's mom. The mom is, basically, in my opinion, sometimes I feel like she just be trying to antagonize her, right? And I don't know why she's doing that. Other than I think that maybe she's getting a little extra on her check. Because I don't think that this is Brandon's mother. I don't. And then sometimes I be wondering whether or not maybe she got a drinking problem or something. But I'm trying not to think that the woman got she an alcoholic, okay? But I don't know now. Because there's gotta be some reason why she's acting like this. But anyway, Julia asked her parents whether or not, she's telling them that she really needs their support. She doesn't feel like she's going to have all of the support, right? And I think that the support from Brandon's mother, she's saying that she doesn't like. They go down to Brandon's family farm, and Julia asks whether or not she misses the farm, and she's like, "No, I don't miss all the difficulties. This woman was trying to run my life." And the parents, are Julia's parents are seeing some of these things, right? But you know, I think that a lot of it. I think that the mother may I think that she is a busybody in other people's matters, but I don't think it's as bad as they're exaggerating that it is. Brandon is telling Julia, we can, we're going to have support. My parents are going to support, but she doesn't want it from them, and I don't blame her. And so, in the meantime, and in between time, she has a conversation with her father and her mother about coming to Russia. I mean, coming to the United States, and they tell her no, that they believe that their lives is back home in Russia. And Julia is a little upset about it, right? Because she wants to have that family support. She looked just like her father. But they're like, no. And the thing about it is, I realized, and what I looked at was that Julia's parents made that decision basically together. They're going to be together. They may not be married to one another. I don't know why. Could have been some other reason why they're not married to each other anymore, but they made that decision together. What other couple am I talking about tonight, y'all? Who did I miss? I'm trying to think of who I missed, who I missed, who I missed. Andrei, Libby, Lauren, her husband, Yara, and Jovi. So when we left off last week, Libby had came to this party, to Yara's launch party, to have it out with Lauren and Alexi. She came there to do that. She knew that that was all her, that was her whole reason for being there. She goes there because she's going to drag her and embarrass her. So they started the conversation last episode where she was saying, you was calling my husband. And she said, no, I didn't say your husband was a bad person or anything. I did say that he was I did. I said that. But I don't remember saying what you saying that Yara came back and told you. And Yara got she got a leaky mouth. So of course, um, your husband wants to get into it, and his mother's like, Jovi, don't you get in this. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Stand down. So Libby is calling herself trying to embarrass her by calling her husband over and spilling a little bit of tea, women's tea that she had been sharing with. Look, now here's the thing: the two doesn't match because it wasn't like she was saying that Lauren went out and told her business or told a lie on her. She just was talking about her husband. So it wasn't even an equal fight, which is why she ended up walking away with mud on her stupid looking face. So anyway, Alexi is like, let me go and get her. Let's talk about it. So she exposes the fact that doing a confidential woman to woman conversation, Laura had told her that she felt like her husband was body shaming her. She explained that to her girlfriends while she was going through, the pregnancy and all of that. She had not really been as public about her body dysmorphia, but she began to be come out with that. I think it was the last season that they had her on there. Libby spills that tea. And the reason why Libby spilled the tea is because she didn't like what she was saying about her husband, who just stole, in my opinion, $75,000 from his kids and his wife and didn't tell her nothing about it, nor her father. So Lauren's husband was like, let's all talk about it. And he asked his wife right then and there in front of him. She said, at the time, I did feel like you were body shaming me. You weren't supporting me. I was going through a lot with the pregnancy, postpartum, all of that. And I didn't feel supported by you. But when I thought about it, it was not that, it's not what it was. But the sad part about it is that Andrei said he read the text messages. So Libby never was to be trusted. So she just as low down dirty as her husband because y'all know she unlocked her phone so she could make sure that he saw him. And that's just a total violation of girl code. She knew what that was. Y'all let me know downtown in the chat and in the replay whether or not y'all think that she knew what this was, that she had always been talking to Andrei about this stuff. Libby's not a friend to anybody but Andrei. Andrei can walk backwards on her, and it would not bother her, in my humble opinion. She would just be like, honey, you left a little bit of, track marks and, off the bottom of your boots. But, I could brush that off later on after I get mad for a little while. But for Andrei to sit there and say that he looked at the text messages, and Lauren was like, why would you look at the text? Like everybody was just like stunned that he had access to her phone and would read them. Like, why would he care? He a man. And then you know what the thing about it is? Ain't nobody say nothing wrong. He's not a good person. Nobody's like, where was the lie? is where I would have been. Can y'all imagine me? Y'all seeing my head peeking through the back? Where's the lie? I'm all the way in the back of the crowd, looking at the dog bags. Hearing the conversation, I'm yelling all the way from across the room. Where's the lie? Where is it? Somebody give me a magnifying glass so I can find this lie. Where's the lie? So Yara is upset. But these are unpredictable people. They will do anything to get a like and a clue. So Yara comes over and she's fussing. Who fusses and starts an argument at a launch party? Libby and Andrei. Because that's the only reason why they got dressed. That is the only reason why they got dressed and came. So that they could confront. Because Libby, with them blinking eyes, she needed to come out and really say what she got too. Because y'all remember when Laura and Alexi first came out, and Alexi was I mean not Alexi, um God, well, I can't think of their names. Lauren did not want to tell us that she had Tourette's. Do y'all remember that? I don't know how many of y'all go back that far, but she did not want to disclose that she had Tourette's when all of us had picked it up. We all had picked it up. When is Libby coming out? Do y'all think that Libby has Tourette's? Something's going on with Libby because those sudden that she does, like this, something's wrong. And I don't know if y'all have noticed it, but I've noticed it with her over the years. That Libby absolutely is like, what is that? And I'm not trying to diagnose the woman with anything. I just notice it. Laura wasn't forthcoming with what was going on with her. It was the pressure of the fans that made Lauren come out and say what was going on with her. So what's going on with Libby, and then why ain't nobody talking about it? So basically, Yara, because they done messed up her party, went over there and told her, and your husband told my husband and everybody else about the $75,000 that he lost. And Libby was pissed. Not because Andrei said anything about it, but because he ain't say nothing to her about it. He told everybody, word was all up on the curb, that he had misused and misspent this and lost this $75,000, whatever y'all want to call it, and never said nothing to her wife. So guess what? She done got double checked because the first way she got checked is because her trying to throw Lauren under the bus with Alexi didn't work. Second, she got busted because her husband is out there telling everybody what's going on in her household, and she don't realize that they're all looking at her like she about that small. And but when she came up in it, her head was up in the air. She's Chuck's daughter, and they do real estate investments and all that kind of stuff, and whatever. But now she busted because everybody know her business, that she weak, in my opinion. Okay. Now I see that Wendy's front yard. Y'all in a whole different conversation. Wendy said her small dog travel bag is $1,100. Really? Let's look these bags up. Are you serious? Oh, Screen Rant did something on it. 90 Day Fiance, Yara's luxury dog business exposed. Outrageous price tag shocks the fans. I don't know why. Why are people shocked? According to Screen Rant, Yara's confidence in her business idea is evident, but the steep prices of her pet accessories are causing a stir. Her dog travel bag is listed as 1150. The crossbody bag is at 450 and a collar is at $75. An Instagram user bluntly said, "Girl, I love you, but your prices are too high." Another chimed in and said, "Over $1,000 for a dog is insane." Someone added, "It's cute, but not affordable for everyday people." But Yara already said that she done came here to America and capitalized and was thanking her husband's last episode. We already know what it is with Yara. My dog's too big to be in the carrier. Thank God for that. They 50 pounds, 52, 53 pounds a piece. Can you imagine me trying to lug that in a carrier bag? Honey child, please. And the collar probably made for little small dogs and won't even go around their big thick necks. Child, ain't nobody got that to do. Anyway, Libby ended up leaving Honey, and when she left, she was in an argument, a full-fledged argument with her husband. Didn't he want him to touch her? And she told him when he got in the car, "Don't say nothing. Don't you run your mouth. Don't you say nothing." You right about that, Alice. Okay, so I see some updates, okay, in the comments section, but she said that she was launching her bags. So I don't know where the information came from that. Okay. Anyway, I think I got all the couples. Y'all, did I get all of the couples? I think I did. If I didn't, I have to come back and do another video. And I am going to go live in a few minutes, like really, really quick with the members. So if you are members of Auntie's Advice, turn your notification bells on because I got about 15, 20 more minutes left in me, and I want to have a conversation with y'all just really, really quick before I go to bed. So thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button because that really does help the channel. I love you all, and until we meet again, y'all be safe out there in the street and in the water. Bye.